everybody, I am the Complex Man, and today is going to be. I'm starting a lot of segments. I know that is probably one thing that people are going to notice about it, but it is definitely going to pay off in the end. But this segment is going to be all about what I just ended up seeing. And today's first episode of I Just Saw is going to be none other than, obviously, can you guess it? Guardians of the Galaxy 3. This movie is amazing. I can't believe that it is just this good. You are going to be seeing nothing but straight up shock and awe throughout this video from me. My gosh, it's just the depth that they went with the characters, the fact that there's no wokeness at all in any of this film is amazing. There's not one character that is being overshadowing another character. There's no battle for popularity. There's no um, feminism type stuff where they're overpowering a character. Everybody is on the same level, and this is, I feel like they're finally listening to people and what they're saying on what they've been doing wrong with all this wokeness and the MCU is what it was called for like the past year. And it is amazing. I love that all the characters have their own individual arcs. They are coming, everybody has full circle, character development. Everybody has their time in the light. Everybody has something that they learn new about themselves and they carry with them in the future. Um, but yeah, let's just go down the list. Um, let's start with the obvious ones first. Star Lord is definitely. Um, I don't really see too significant of a change compared to his other renditions in the other movies in the MCU. Um, he's definitely feeling the impact of the loss of Gamora more in this movie than any of the other ones. They show a little bit more intensely. Then there's, um, we'll just say Gamora herself. Um, I was a little worried at first that they were going to just give her the characteristic of just being a bitch right off the bat, and that was going to be the only thing that she had going for her because she's no longer this uh, lovable character that we grew into liking from the first Guardians of the Galaxy and the second one, and then Infinity War and Endgame. Um, everything really changed about her, but they definitely show more aggression. But she comes full circle, and I'm really glad that they didn't stick with this characteristic. My God, I am so happy that they didn't do that with this character because they actually made her likable at the end. Um, then we got Drax, who's pretty much the same. Not too much stuff to develop with him, but they did sneak in some things that he was able to find within himself, that he has more than just being a brute character or a destroyer, as his name implies. And he actually finds more meaning within himself. Then we have Groot, who they did change a few things about him that I'm really glad that they did. I'm not going to go into too big of a detail because I don't want to give away too many things. But he definitely is. He's not as funny, I guess, like in the first one. And he's definitely not as comedically slash cute slash funny as in the second one. But he definitely has um, more going for him in this film. And I don't want to, like I said before, I don't want to give away too many more of his characteristics because I want you guys to see it for yourself. Um, Now, then my favorite character that has come the furthest in their developing from the past films into this film is definitely going to have to be Nebula in my book, because She shows so much more emotion. She shows so much more characteristics. She's developed a lot more. She's come such a long way from just being the angry sister who needs to be seen and all that kind of stuff. Um, and now she is more supportive, more loving, more family oriented, defending other members of the Guardians, and I just love every minute of it. Yeah, so she is my favorite character, and then we go into the other smaller type characters like Cracklin, who is the one who took over for Yandu after he lost, uh, after he, I guess, spoiler alert, passed away in the second film. But yeah, he has a few moments that he finally develops. They show a little bit in him being in Thor: Love and Thunder. They showed a little bit of him trying to get used to his new ability. He does finally get his moment to shine in this movie. And then, of course, there's Rocket. And that is a given because this is definitely a origin story about him. And boy, does he go through a lot. I would have to say that his story arc, at least, because I don't know what it is in the comics, but I know for at least in the film adaptation that his definitely gets points for being one of the most hectic, painful, and just intense out of any of the other origins that I've seen. He definitely goes through a lot in this movie. And then, of course, you have Mantis. Can't leave her out. She has her developing moments and definitely comes into herself more in this film. She had a lot of moments in the holiday special, but it definitely, as I've said before, with all the other characters, comes full circle. And then you have the smaller characters that are just being introduced for the first time, like Cosmo, the space dog, who was actually shown, I want to say, the first debut of that character was in the first Guardians. I want to say he was seen at the end. I'm saying he because in the comics he's a he, but he is voiced by a woman in this adaptation for the film. So excuse me if I miscall him. But yeah, so you were first introduced to that character in the first Guardians film, and now they get some spotlight of their own and actually get a lot of attention, more than any other sub level character that I've ever seen in past movies. So that's really good. And then you have the characters that are also being debuted that you've never seen before, that are just debuting in this movie, and they are amazing. But um, I was surprised that this movie had so many things going for it, that it had action, it had comedy, it had drama, the emotion in this movie. I got misty eyed like 3 times in watching this film. I was just blown away by the fact that this movie is making me feel this way. I was like, what is this? I'm leaking. Like I am just overall just ecstatic over the how good this movie is, and I hope that more people see it. Um, but I definitely got to say that the dynamic that is going on with the Marvel movie releases these days um, are definitely dissipated, and I really am hurt to see that they are in the predicament that they're currently in because this movie was genuinely amazing. And I'm not underselling it. I'm just a normal person who doesn't know all of the elaborate um, dealings when it comes to what goes into a movie. I'm just a standard audience member that knows a little bit about the comics, a little bit about the backstories, and really loved the Marvel characters. So yeah, this movie is just really great, and I hope that more people will go to see it. I hope that more people will watch this video and take this input from myself that is just pure. It is. I'm not leaning in any which direction. But yeah, I definitely see this movie. There's only probably one complaint that I would have to say, and that would come in the form of Adam Warlock. I was a little disappointed with this character. I don't know too much about him in the comics. All I know is that he had a lot to do with the original Infinity Gauntlet storyline in the comics. And if I'm wrong, please do feel free to correct me, but I believe he was one of the main keys to defeating Thanos in the comics. So I don't know why they withheld him from either Infinity War or Endgame. Those would have been great moments to stick to the source material and give people what they wanted. But okay, that happened for what it is. But then he was introduced in this film, and he seems more of a uneducated, uh, like comedy, comic relief type person. So I really wanted to see more. I wanted to see his powers being showcased, but this is only his debut, so maybe they're just paving the road for a lot more future things and storylines in the upcoming films, which I'm okay with seeing. So I hope that they give more showcase to him. But yeah, overall, this is just supposed to be a rough rendition of my thoughts on this movie, and everything is just positive. And I can't say it enough. See this movie. And please, like, let's start getting these Marvel films the credibility that they deserve again. As long as, like I said before, this streak just continues. We'll see if it happens with the Marvels, which is, I believe, their next upcoming movie after this one. Um, that looks a little iffy, but we'll see where it goes. But all in all, Marvel, you won me back with this film, and I couldn't be happier. As usual, thank you so much for your time. Subscribe, like, ring the notification bell so you know whenever I upload a new video, and I will see you in the next one. You guys have a great one.